Let me see. Yeah, I got something going on with my top lip here again. So I do have some stuff to put on it, which I will do very shortly. Anyway, there you are. So, first of all, our thought for the day is from Thomas Kincaid, who says, "If you listen, the world of sky and water and trees can teach you. It can change you. It can make your life profoundly simpler and more satisfying. Listen to the world around us." And for our reading today, it's actually about denial, and it's complicated. So anyway, here we go. Emerson's essays. Emerson is never simple. Fear never, but you shall be consistent in whatever variety of actions, so they be each honest and natural in their hour. So just behave openly and honestly. And that's on page 42 of Emerson's essays. And Ernest Thomas in The Science of Mind on page 311, he's talking about the fact that the world around us, the universe, is not Maya. It's not something that doesn't exist. In fact, he's saying the exact opposite. He's saying physical form is real. And if it were not for form, God or intelligence would not be expressed. So what he's saying here is that, yes, it's real. The world around you is real. It is not Maya. And this is the way that God chooses, or intelligence, the groundable being, chooses to express itself. And this is Rev Margaret Stortz. One important tool in spiritual practices is the use of denial, in which the mind refuses to accept the presence of negative conditions. She says, at an esoteric spiritual level, this may have its benefits by keeping the mind free of undesirable situations. But pragmatically speaking, it can be awfully difficult to affirm that a toothache does not exist when pain keeps throbbing in your cheek. She says, better it is, I think, to deny that any unwanted condition. She said, better it is, I think, to deny that any unwanted condition need continue to exist so that we can get a handle on thinking and acting clearly. She goes on to say, besides, sometimes denial can be used to escape acting in the physical world, which is where we live, in this world of forms. This may not be the best use of our energies when we're involved in the things that are ours to do. She says the use of denial is a good clarifying device. It allows us to organize our thoughts so we're not torn apart by difficulties that we may face. We all know life is not all sweetness and light, and that clearly dealing with hard things can often bring out the best of spirit in us. Denial can be a steadying device mentally. It can allow us to step out of a miasma of dismay so that we can get our bearings and allow guidance to assist us in making right decisions. It's complicated. Well, a lot of things in life are, a lot of things in life are complicated, even yawning. Actually, yawning is very catching. If you see a person yawning, the odds are that you will yawn. If you see an animal yawning, ditto. If an animal sees you yawning, same thing. Got nothing to do with denial. The way I like to look at denial is, Ernest Holmes, I think, put it more succinctly. He said that, okay, we don't deny that poverty exists, right? So we accept the fact that poverty exists. But in spiritual mind treatment, we turn away from that and we focus on what it is that we do want. So what we're saying here is that any negative condition is not permanent. No condition is permanent. It isn't permanent. and therefore it's subject to change. And using spiritual mind treatment, we can change conditions. Ernest Holmes said that. One of his main principles, that we can change conditions by the use of our minds. So is it good or is it not good to use denial? In the form of spiritual mind treatment I was taught, we didn't use denial. In the one that was taught by RSI, Religious Science International, they did have a denial step in and then a reaffirmation. So I think it really depends on the individual. You know, it is true what she said. You can't deny that something exists. It does exist. What you can deny is that it has to continue, and you can deny that it needs to be of a more permanent nature. You can affirm that it's temporary, and you can turn away from it and turn towards what you want. And I think the way Ernest Holmes did it's the simplest way. He said, okay, I've got this toothache. What do I want? And then you focus consciously and exclusively on what it is that you do want, which is ease of mouth, right? Ease of teeth, etc. So that's the way I look at it. You know, you don't deny that it exists, but you do deny that it's permanent, and you do deny that it needs to continue, and then you affirm what it is that you do want. The affirmation she gives us: the divine good fulfills me, always has, always will, and I access it every day. The divine good fulfills me, always has, always will, and I access it every single day. And she says, I deny the need to continue to experience difficulties, and I turn my mind to healthy outcomes, which is kind of what Ernest Holmes was saying, right? One thing I would ask all of us is that, you know, world events can be hard to comprehend sometimes. They can be difficult for some of us to accept. And for some people, it's fairly easy. But what I do ask all of us to do is this: that join with me in knowing that whatever happens in the world, I focus on the good. And when I focus on the good in every situation, I know that good will come of this situation. And I claim that this is true. And I am grateful for it, and I release it into divine law, calling it done. And so it is. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please watch Creative Life Spiritual Center service tomorrow at 11 a.m. If that time doesn't suit, Central Time, if that time doesn't suit you, it will be recorded and available on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page and later on YouTube. And on the same Facebook page tomorrow, 9:15, my colleague Reverend Lisa Ryan will be there. And she will be bringing, usually somehow she weaves into it self-care, which is always a good thing. A quick reminder about our two classes, not this coming week, the week after. Tuesday, Basic Science of Mind class, Basic New Thought class. Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. And the other one is treatment and meditation. First one is on the Tuesday, second on the Thursday, not this coming week, the week after. Please text me if you want more information about either of those. 832-271-0717. We will see you next time. Namaste.